One. Two. Yeah. Grab it. Prostock finals. Black Mamba, black. The other car name is black again.
Okay, so
Black Mamba, and then Connecticut.
okay, all right.
6 laps, finals.
6 laps. All right, racers ready. 3, 2, 1, drop. Oh.
1, 2. Oh! We're gonna do a rerun for the finals. Oh, rerun! Rerun. Oh, Jerry's out because he took his. You're out. You're third again. All right, rerun. What motor are you? Rerun.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, drop.
Three. Last lap. Alright, winner. What's up, guys? It's your boy Cielshock from CTUSA Mini4wd Drive Racing Squad and the teacher Noobworx. And before I start my video, I want to shout out to Band Royalty, Print Nation, and Game Bus. If you guys are interested with my Band Royalty stuff and apparel, Print Nation and Game Bus, I have the link at the description below. And also, I want to say shouts out to Yo Clothing. If you're a 90s kid or a kid that's into 90s teen apparel, Yo Clothing is the way to go. I have the link at the description below. Alright, let's get into the video. As you can see, you saw the video. It was a Prostock race. It was one of the rarest time that I would race Prostock. So I got my lovely wife dropping my car. And I'm pretty happy of my performance. Alright, so let's talk about Connecticut. Alright, Connecticut is built, obviously, because I live in Connecticut. And the colorway is most likely the Connecticut flag. And I will show you in 2 seconds. So there you go. You've seen the Connecticut flag. It's pretty much like the same colorway, like purple, blue, yellow. But the only thing missing is the white colorway. But that's Connecticut, my AR chassis Prostock build. Alright, so before I go on, I'm not a master of Prostock. I'm really new to this category, but it's pretty interesting. So if you guys are interested with this category, I have the link at the description below for the Prostock PH group. And also they have the updated Prostock rules. Alright, so I only know the do's and don'ts, and I really don't know much about the parts, so bear with me with this one. But I built my car according to the rule and I passed the inspection. Alright, so in Prostock you're allowed to use any Tamiya motor. So any Tamiya motor is allowed as long as it's the legal Tamiya motors. Besides Jet Dash, I think. I don't know if it's allowed. But mostly Tamiya motors. Obviously, if it's not Tamiya, it's not allowed. And also, stock parts. All the stock parts are allowed straight out from the box, and you can mix match it. And I think you're not allowed to use wheel bearings, roller bearings, ball race bearings. You can't use brake sets. You can't use taller screws, brakes. And that's pretty much it, I think. So that's how basic I think the rules are. Some people are overthinking it, but if you really want a detailed rule, I have the link at the description below. Alright, so let's get to it. This is my Prostock build, Connecticut. Let's start with the body shell. The body shell is Protosaver Evolution Premium 19448. Again, it's item number 19448. The body shell and the 8 parts is from a Proto Saber Premium. Alright, so the 8 parts are this. They're just basically for color matching, nothing really special. They are ABS plastic. And the reason why I use the Proto Saber Evolution Premium is, one, it fits the AR chassis, and I want to use the AR chassis, obviously. And there's no dampening system. Dampers are not allowed for Prostock, so you're not allowed to do body damper, you're not allowed to do hammer damper, or any kind of body damper system, or any kind of dampening system, or weights. So I want a little bit of more weight. I picked this chassis because this chassis, I think, is very aerodynamic, and it's not too light. It's heavy enough for me, and then I like the aerodynamic feature of this body shell. That's why I picked the Proto Saber Evolution Premium. Again, it's item number 19448, and that comes with the 8 parts that I used. Alright, the next would be the chassis that I pick. I pick AR chassis, obviously, as you can see. AR chassis, I already have a video about it, straight out from the box. I pick AR chassis because if you watch my older video about my chassis, my chassis series, I have a feature about AR chassis too. I think I'm gonna put it on the link at the description below too. I put the link at the description below too about that AR chassis if you're new to the hobby. But AR chassis is pretty balanced. So for a beginner like me, for Prostock or a starter, for me, AR chassis, there are lesser adjustments or lesser compensation of the weakness of this chassis that I need to adjust straight out from the box because it's well balanced. All right, it's well balanced. AR chassis is way balanced, and if you guys are interested with AR chassis, you want to go in depth on that, I have the video, and I'll put it in the link at the description below. Alright, so I pick AR chassis because it's way balanced, and I got it from an Aero Avante Violet Special 95062. And you guys must be wondering, why did I pick the Aero Avante Violet Special 95062? Why I didn't just use the Proto Saber chassis? Because of this. The component of this chassis is a PC ABS. Remember that. Item number 95062. So that's a good chassis. That means this chassis is reinforced with polycarbonate components. So it's reinforced and it's way tougher. So if it hits and it bumps, let's say it coursed out or whatever, I'm not gonna worry that the chassis will break right away. And this is, you know, one of the heaviest chassis, but is one of the most durable chassis out there. So that's why I picked AR chassis, and it's PC ABS. So that's the reason why it's black. I picked that, and then I just put the 8 parts from the Proto Saber Evolution kit. So as you can see, this is getting built through different kind of kit, mix matching it. Alright, so that's the reason why I pick AR chassis, because it's reinforced. Next would be the wheels. I mean the tires. So these are hard tires from this same kit. It's from the Aero Avante Violet Special, and these are hard tires. Alright, the reason why I didn't use super hard, because some people might be asking me, why you didn't use super hard tires? Because super hard tires are a little bit more slippery compared to hard tires, and hard tires got a little bite compared to that, so I won't lose that much of torque. And also, hard tires are less bouncy compared to a regular slick tire. Obviously, a super hard tire will be less bouncier than a hard tire, but I prepare to sacrifice a little bit of bounce and have a little bit more of grip for torque purposes. Alright, so that's why I picked those hard tires from that Aero Avante Violet Special tires. Alright, next would be, this part is actually very rare nowadays. These are the low profile wide spoke wheel metallic purple 9004476, item number 9004476. I didn't know actually where to get it. I think RZ Jazz or something. I'm not sponsored by RZ Jazz. I'm saying you can get it from RZ Jazz if it's still available. And also, I got it from a price from a New Jersey race, I think. Shout out New Jersey, by the way. But I picked wide spoke because the front is narrow and the rear is wide. And because the front is narrow and the rear is wide, the front is pretty much like closer to the body for cornering purposes, and the rear is the part that where the motor is, so I can push more torque over there. So that's the main purpose. That's why I use narrow and wide wheels. I can use a 5-spoke wheel. I can use other kind of wheels that are medium. Pick medium because I don't want it to be large, because I want it to be as low as a little bit lower to the ground for a center of gravity, for a lesser pitch. The pitch is where the car is jumping. And obviously the color matching, because it's purple, so you can see it's pretty nice. All right, again, it's item number 9004476. Low profile, wide spoke wheel, metallic purple. All right, next would be, we're going to the bumper, where we have our rollers. It's the low friction plastic double rollers blue. It's 15457. Again, it's 15457. When you buy that pack, you have two. You have red and blue. So I picked blue and I flip it. The reason why I flip the rollers is I want the roller to be taller, because you are not allowed to have, in Prostock, you're not allowed to use those long screws and put spacers on it, but you can use you're allowed to use double plastic rollers. So what I did is, instead of the 13 millimeter at the lower part, I put it on top, so it's more stable. So the higher the roller is, if you guys watch my roller basics, I have a video about it. The higher the roller is, the more stable the car, and you're pretty much sacrificing your speed. But you really don't have any option to make your car stable, because in Prostock, the parts that you can use are very limited. So I rather have a taller roller than a lower roller, and then I will sacrifice that stability. So to make the car stable, especially on the lane changer, I picked this low friction plastic double roller blue 15457. That's the reason why is that the roller that I picked for this category. All right, and obviously you can see it's angled for the lane changer. All right, as we move on, I will explain more about the build. All right, next part would be this 12 millimeter rollers with O-rings. So without O-rings, they're 12 millimeters. With O-rings, they're 13 millimeters. This one is for stability purposes. As you can see, it is attached closer to the body, but that's as much as you can go, so that really don't matter that much. But this is for more stability. So I have the O-ring option, but before I forgot, it's from a Spin Viper VS chassis kit. It's item number 19429. Again, it's item number 19429. So as you can see, the parts are all mixed match from different kits. It's not from just one kit. But this is from a VS chassis kit, Spin Viper 19429. Because I have the O-ring option and without the O-ring option, so it depends on the track situation where will I adjust. So this is pretty much acting as my brakes, because you can't really put any brake in Prostock category. All right, so when I have a stronger motor, this can control my car. It's basically controlling my car through turns, because you're dragging that rear. It would be slower if you put it on front, but you can't put it any taller because it's not a double roller. So you're better off putting it right in the rear part, and that's basically, you're dragging that rear part, so that acts like a little brake when you're turning and you're cornering and you're approaching the lane changer if you're too fast. So that's the reason why I have it doubled over there. So double for stability purposes. So I release O-rings in different kind of track situations. So that's also one thing in Prostock, you're allowed to release O-rings and whatnot. You know, you can release that, or you have the choice to unrelease it or put it on the roller. All right, so again, that's item number 19429 for the Spin Viper VS chassis. All right, let's go to the internals. All right, there you go. You have a black counter gear, obviously. So if you have a black counter gear, you match it with a brown counter gear, which is the high-speed counter gear set 15236. Again, it's item number 15236. I use high-speed counter gear because I want my car to push a little torque, and I don't think 351 is necessary, because I think I would be over speed if I use that. So I just use the 4:1 gear ratio, high-speed counter gear set 15236. 2, 3, 6, so I can control my top speed by doing that. All right. Next part would be the carbon reinforced 8-teeth pinion gear. So when you buy a packet 6 pieces, it's item number 15453. Again, it's item number 15453. I just think it's durable enough and it will not be broken for Prostock races because we're not using very, very high torque motors, because that's why I use the carbon reinforced 8-teeth pinion gear, and it's, you know, it's durable enough and it will not ruin any gear because it's not a high torque motor. And obviously the motor that of choice that I use is a light dash motor, item number 15455, light dash motor. I pick light dash because light dash is a little bit balanced. I mean, there's not a lot of torque in there, but there's enough torque for me to run a light Prostock car, because a Prostock car is not too heavy. You know, it's just perfect weight, I think, in my opinion. I mean, we can weigh this car, so I think light dash is enough to push this car, because the car is light enough, and the car will not be super aggressive because it's only light dash. Because if I use hyper dash on an AR chassis, I think that would be way too much. All right, that's the trick in Prostock. You have to balance your car out with the speed that you're using. And for the batteries, I want to highlight that too. I'm using a Neo Champ battery. It's item number 15420. Again, it's item number 15420. It's a Neo Champ battery. All right, so I'm using Neo Champ because I want the car to be light, and the Neo Champ is one of the lightest rechargeable batteries out there. All right, some people use alkaline, some people use the heavy Eneloops, but I use the Neo Champs because for the overall setup. All right, so let's break down the setup real quick as I rebuild this, and let's discuss more about the overall build. So obviously AR chassis for stability purposes and durability purposes, fully cowed body shell for aerodynamics and add a little weight, and hard tires for lesser bounce, narrow wide wheels for cornering and torque purposes, 12 millimeters with O-ring at the rear part for stability purposes, and also double plastic rollers up front for stability purposes. So in Prostock, if you watch the video closely, I put some caption on the video that you have to read the track layout first, because the track layout, if you notice, the track layout for that event that this car raced is just double lane changer and a tabletop with 2 or 3, I think, straight panels after the tabletop. So I want my car to land perfectly right at the end of that panel, of that straight panel, so I can maximize the pitch of the car. The pitch of the car is the momentum going forward with the torque from a panel before the slope or a tabletop. So that's the pitch moving forward. And then the landing, I want it to land right on the last panel so I can maximize that pitch, because I want to be ahead. I want that speed, but I don't want to overshoot. So in Prostock racing, and I learned this, shout out Sir Jing from Team Putek. Shout out, he's the one who's like guiding me on Prostock, and my wife, obviously, because my wife trained with Sir Jing when she was in the Philippines, so she's better at me at Prostock, but I'm learning. So you want to maximize that pitch, but also you don't want to overshoot. So you're basically balancing out your car. So that everything will come in play. The size of wheels, that's one thing to compensate it, and also the gears, what kind of gear ratio you're gonna use, and what kind of motor you're gonna use. All right, so I'm running a light dash, less aggressive, but I lead a limb, so I want to lessen the top speed. So I adjusted the gear ratio to 4:1 for lesser top speed. So the car is less aggressive because it's light dash, and lesser top speed because it's a 4:1 gear ratio. It's not a 351 super speed gear. It's only high speed gear. And also, my wheels are medium diameter. They're not large. So they will not jump higher and the pitch will be lower with a lesser top speed. That's why, that's how I overcome that track layout last event. So as you can see, there are different ways of overcoming it. Like, it depends on what kind of wheels, what size of wheels, obviously the rollers and everything. All right, so those are the pros of this build, because AR chassis is fast to begin with if you look at it straight out from the box. So it doesn't need a lot of power from a motor, because the car itself straight out from the box, I mean the chassis itself straight out from the box, the AR chassis is already fast. Fast in acceleration, fast in speed, stable. So you have that characteristics of the AR chassis that you don't have to worry about. So you don't have to have the strongest motor that that you have to put in a car. So you just have to worry about a little bit of stability and making the car a little bit faster, because the car will be light. All right, so hopefully you got a little hint in the Prostock, but those are the pros of the AR chassis. One weakness of this build, I will tell you, is you can't put a very strong motor, because AR chassis is already fast to begin with, and there are no brakes, obviously. That's the reason why I don't have this kid, because this kid of the AR chassis pretty much slaps the track, and the car's too light. It can rebound, and the car can flip like that. So you can't put any higher motor at the chassis, because the chassis is already fast to begin with, so it doesn't need an aggressive fast motor. All right. 2, with this chassis is the roller positionings are very far from each other, so it can get caught. It can get caught on the track layout. So there's no underground. It can get caught on the track wall. So it's basically gonna hit the track wall, and then it can get caught like that. And because there's no underguard, there's no rollers that are beveled or that are shaped to protect that, or any carbon pieces that we usually do on modified races. That's one disadvantage of the AR chassis. But it's very challenging. That's why I like this category. So that's one disadvantage that I think. And also, you can't put in an aggressive motor, because it will obviously shoot out. And it's pretty heavy compared to other Prostock builds. It's heavier compared to other Prostock builds. Alright, so let's weigh this. Obviously, for an ordinary speed tech or Tamiya class setup, this would be light, but it's heavier compared to other Prostock builds. So let's weigh this. So if I fix the unit to grams. Alright, so without the battery, it's 85 grams. Imagine that if I put a hyper dash in there, that car's gonna fly out. So let's see, with a Neo Champ battery. With a Neo Champ battery, see how heavy it would be all in all total. It's 122 grams. Alright, so that's pretty light. Thinking there's no really, so it's pretty much 121 grams without any carbon plates or whatever. So that's pretty light for a car, especially using a Neo Champ car. So as I've said earlier, one disadvantage is this of the AR chassis, you can't really use a very high torque motor. It can get caught because of the roller positionings. That's one disadvantage. But advantages of it is also it's already fast to begin with, so you don't need a higher motor. And also one advantage of this is it's stable to begin with. So that's how I see it. Alright, so before I go, let's go check the top speed of this car, because a lot of people are wondering all the time, what are the top speeds of my car? So let's check this. Where's my speed checker? Alright, so here's my speed checker. I'm gonna use my Neo Champs. And before we run this car, we are going to use The high speed Matrixx oil, Matrixx high speed racing oil. There you go. If you guys are interested with the high speed Matrixx oil, I have the link at the description below. It's available in the Philippines, and I don't think they ship internationally, but you can message. I have all the information at the link at the description below. All right. Matrixx high speed racing oil. It's more than a lube. Unleash the power. All right. So let's check how this top speed of this car. Oops. All right, so it's 24 kilometers per hour. All right. So that's my light dash. It's only 24 kilometers per hour. So that means that 24 kilometers per hour, I already maximized that 24 kilometers per hour. So that is the exact top speed that I need to land on that first panel. I mean, on that last panel of that track layout that I raced this car. So that's my main key. All right. Some people do it the other way. They have more torque, but lesser gear ratio. But that would be a different build. So again, this is Cielshock from CTUSA Mini 4-wheel drive racing squad, and I'm a teacher here in Noobworx. And if you guys like this video, please hit a like. And if you guys don't like this video, hit the dislike button. I don't mind. And tell me about your Prostock experience. I mean, you can comment below suggestions or whatever on your Prostock experience. We all love to know. And again, this is Cielshock. We learn from you. We learn from us. This is Cielshock. Always race humble. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.